All right, so I just changed the front sprocket, and obviously to do that I have to loosen up the back so I have slack on the chain. So I'm gonna basically adjust the chain, basically make a chain adjustment. So for the folks that are just only doing a chain adjustment, you guys could follow this as well. This will work for you as well. So what you need is a 12mm and a 14mm right here. And obviously your axle should be loose. 19mm on this side, 24mm on the other side, on the throttle side. And you see my chain here is all flopping around. All right. So basically, start tightening up this nut here. Tightening up this nut will bring the wheel back. You know, basically giving you taking up the slack essentially. So you could just do both sides and do them, you know, pretty evenly. So that way things don't get all like hung up and kind of cockeyed on you. So as I tighten this up, I can actually see my chain getting taking the stack out of my chain. So again, do both sides and do them as evenly as you can. That way the wheel will stay square with the center line of the frame. A lot of people use the little lines on here. I don't necessarily like to use that because sometimes they're off. There's instances I've experienced where they're like really off. So that's why I don't like to use that method. The best method is actually the tape measuring method, where you measure the distance from the center of the axle to the center of the swing arm. So you measure that distance, and it's the same on both sides. That means you're good. So so I'm gonna start doing that actually. Actually, when I get closer to my chain slack, so on here on the sticker here it says the free play is gonna be 35mm or 1 3/8 of an inch. So basically you pick where the middle of the chain is, where the front and rear sprockets are. Pick the middle point and just, you know, from down position to up position. That's how you know. That's you know, from all the way to the top to all the way to the down. That's your slack right there. So this right here is touching the swing arm. So that's basically it's too loose. When it touches the swing arm like that, it's too loose. Because when the chain touches the swing arm like that, it's gonna it'll damage the swing arm. You actually cause the chain to gouge into your swing arm. So again, I'm gonna do both sides evenly. So both sides are pretty even. Set this again. Okay, it's still touching, so that tells me it's too much, I think. You want to double check. Put a tape measure down there and pick a point on the tape measure, or pick a point on the chain. I'm gonna use the bottom of the chain right here. So push it up. At the bottom, I can see it at let's see, 5/8. Go all the way down. It's gonna be 2 inches, so that's more than. So that's actually that's almost 3/8. That's almost 1 inch and 3/8. So I think I'm actually pretty close, but it's still touching the swing arm. So I don't like that. I'd rather it not touch the swing arm like that. So I'm gonna go a little bit more. Oh, there it goes. Now it's not touching. Well, it is. Up here it is. Down here it's not. See, the middle point is right, yeah, it's about right here what my tape measure is. Let's do that again. Let's check that slack again. So I'm going all the way until it touches the swing arm. Is that 5/8? Yeah, so it's actually past 2 inches. But you know, I didn't rotate the wheel. I need to actually find the tightest spot on the chain. So this might not be a tight spot. Get your thing in neutral, and when you start to tighten up the chain, this is when you can find the slack. If the chain is really loose, you won't be able to find a tight spot. So you're just rotating it, and you're just doing this, and you'll feel some spots looser where the chain's looser, and some spot where the chain is tighter. So you want to measure from that tight spot. So I think it's still too loose for me to tell. Yeah, still too loose for me to tell. Pretty close though. I think I'm pretty close. Just need to do a little bit more. Maybe another half a turn or so. Let's see the other side. Man, I can barely tell. I think this is not tight enough. It needs to be a little bit tighter. Okay, now I can tell. Oh, this is a pretty tight spot right there. Let's go all the way around. Another tight spot right there. About right around here somewhere. Feels pretty tight. Yeah, right about right there. Okay, so I think I found the tight spot, which is right there. Now I can do my actual measurement. Okay. Let's see, that's the middle. Yeah, right here's the middle. So here it's actually not touching it's not touching the swing arm. So I'm at 3/4 of an inch. 2 inches, so that's actually too tight. That's 1 inch and 2 1/4, 1 1/4 inch. So I need 3/8. So I actually need to loosen up a little bit. So I'm gonna loosen up, let's say 1/4 of a turn. So 2 flats, 2 flats on my nut here. And one of the things I do to make it easy on myself is use a mallet and hit the back of the tire, so that way it pushes all the way forward, pushes the wheel forward. So I have a better reading, a little bit more accurate, I think. Okay, I think I'm just about there. Okay, so I'm gonna call that pretty good right there as far as the chain adjustment goes. I actually might loosen it up a little bit more. Usually when you tighten up the axle, it will actually get tighter. So actually I'm going to loosen this up, maybe 2 more turns, or not 2 more turns, 2 more flat spots on the hex here. 1, 2. So the hex has six flat spots, right? I used two flat spots. I'm going to hit this forward a little bit. Again, take up the slack. Now I can actually measure my my 2 ends here, from this end to my axle. You know, measure that length. So I'm using the center to center of the swing arm to the center of the axle. So right now I basically have 23 inches. So I'm do that on the other side. If it's the same, then that means I can tighten it up. If it's not, I have to make them both equal. This one is actually more than 23 inches. This one is This side is 23 and 1/8. So this side is actually farther. This side is actually farther. The throttle side is actually pulled out more, so I actually have to slacken that up a little bit. So I did about half a turn on the nut. I'm gonna hit the back of the wheel again with the mallet. Hit the back of the wheel so that way it moves the wheel forward. So that way when I do my measurement, it's accurate. And so when I do my measurement, it's accurate. Still not 23 yet. Do a little bit more. Maybe go another half turn. All right, let's measure that again. Let's start sprinkle. Feel some drops on my head. Okay, so that's 23 inches right there. Alright, that's 23 inches. On that side, let's double check this side. Make sure it's still 23 inches. Oh, this side's actually less now. That's interesting. It's a little bit less. This side's actually 22 and 7/8. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. It usually does. Usually does. Let's actually look at the chain again. And now it's actually looser. It's too loose now. So the other side's 23. Let's move this side to 20 back to 23. So that was what, 1/8 of a turn. So that was, I think, or 1/8 of an inch. So that's, I think, one full rotation on the nut here. Can we do that? One full rotation. Hit the back again with my mallet to take up the slack. Okay. Measure it again. Oops, what am I doing? I just made a mistake there. I actually gave it more slack. I was supposed to tighten it up a turn, not take away a turn. Let's try that again. That's okay. That's where I was originally. Aiming for what, that 23 inches? Okay, 23 right there. No. 24 and 15/16. See this? Ooh, that's tight. That's very tight. Ooh, that's very tight. So I think the 1/8 was 22 and 7/8 was actually good. I just need to take up the slack on the other side then. Alright, so that's almost. We need one more flat turn here. Oops. Wrong way. Wrong direction. Okay, I think that right there is 22 and 7/8. That thing. Keep on moving on me. Okay, so that's 22 and 7/8 right there on this side. Let's check the other side. This side is 23, so I actually have to loosen up, give some slack on this other side. my mallet again. Take up that slack. Almost there. Maybe a half turn. Okay, that's 22 7/8 on both sides. So it feels definitely loose there. So at least I know both sides are even. Now I can actually turn them pretty evenly now, or make the adjustment evenly. So how loose is this one? Well, this one's way loose. Start with a half a turn on the nut on each side. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 flats. 1, 2, 3 flats. So 3 flats is half a turn. Still pretty loose. Another half turn. 1 flat, 2 flat, 3 flat. 1, 2, 3 flats. Let's see. Okay, that's better. Well, yeah, feels just about right. Let's double check. Yeah, it's just about right. So when I tighten up the axle, it's gonna actually get a little bit tighter. So that's good right there, I think. Now I could double check again for the tight spot. Yeah, I think I was at the tight spot already. So it's actually very uniform because this chain is, everything's still so new. It's only 600 miles. So I'm gonna call this good here. I'm gonna tighten up my my adjusters so I don't lose that spot. Oops. Yeah, this nut here is kind of, oops, wrong size. 12, not a 10. Geez, I don't have enough meat on the nut too. Okay, that's tight enough. Same thing on the other side. Okay, so both sides are tightened up. Now I could bring the back down or wheel down. So this is taking longer because, you know, I started out with the chain totally sloppy. If all you do is just making a chain adjustment, it'll be a lot faster. But I started with the chain completely sloppy because I changed the sprocket. So now I could drop it off of the stand and tighten up the axle and double check one more time on the slack. Whoa, almost fell over to the wrong side there. Okay, so here's my little axle thingamabob, and I think I showed you on one of the other videos, but let me show you another one. You know, it's like that. Oh, where's the magnet? I lost the magnet. Oh, there it is. So I have a little neodymium magnet right here on the end, so that way when I put them to, it stays, so that way it doesn't flop around. I just figured out just right now, actually, just today. So last time I had this off, or last time I had this up, I didn't have the magnet. It was kind of flopping around. All right, so now 19mm on this side and 24mm on the throttle side. So this side you just hold in place and you tighten from the other side. So the torque's gonna be probably gonna be like 60 foot-pounds, I think. No more than 80 foot-pounds, I don't think. I'm just gonna tighten it down until basically the bike almost wants to lift up. The bike, I'm gonna call it good. So that's good right there. So the bike sort of actually lifted up a little bit. Now we'll check the slack again one more time. Oh yeah, it definitely got tighter. Got a little bit tighter. It's just a little bit. It's still touching the swing arm, just barely touching the swing arm, so that's perfect. Okay, so that's it. That's basically your chain adjustment. Alright, thanks for watching.